Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slikk and I am back again with the video, and in today's video we're going to be going over spoilers for the Season of Infamy DLC, which is coming in late December. So this is your final warning of spoilers for the Season of Infamy, which is the biggest piece of the Arkham Knight Season Pass. I am about to spoil the endings of the 4 side missions and also the major plot points of each of those 4 side missions. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the Ra's al Ghul side mission begins with you chasing an assassin, very similar to the way in which it was portrayed in Arkham City. That's one thing that they've been trying to do quite a bit, is they're trying to fill us with nostalgia, especially with the Catwoman DLC. The opening music to the Catwoman story pack is exactly identical as it was at the beginning of Arkham City, and you're also taking keycards, which is a gameplay mechanic that was in Arkham City. It's no different here. We're going to start off doing something that we were doing in Arkham City, and that is chasing an assassin within the League of Shadows. We ultimately follow her back, just in the same way that we did in Batman Arkham City, and she leads us right to the Lazarus Pit. Again, very similar to what we had in Arkham City. And what is most fascinating about this side mission is something that many people have been speculating and hoping for. We will be seeing Talia al Ghul in this mission, that's correct. Talia al Ghul is confirmed to be in this side mission, and when we do follow that assassin back to their base, wherever it's located, we will find Talia al Ghul there alongside Ra's. Now, the ending achievement, although we do not know a ton about it, is called Ashes to Ashes, and it says here in the description, end the League of Assassins War. So upon ending the League of Assassins War, thus defeating Talia and Ra's al Ghul, you do get an achievement, and this is interesting because it is called Ashes to Ashes. We put him to ashes the first time in Arkham City, and Ashes to Ashes the second time is in Batman Arkham Knight. I'm not saying that Batman kills him, but he definitely, well, kills him in the way that we think about killing him, where he'll eventually be able to be revived once again, but we kill him in this game as well, presumably. Next, we have the Mad Hatter side mission, and unfortunately this one has been stripped down heavily from what it was initially intended to be. If you can remember, on July 1st, there was a significant set of leaks in the PC data regarding the Season of Infamy. The only side mission that had any coding as regards to the achievements or what actually was happening in that side mission was for Mad Hatter, and we were going to rescue 5 hostages and then take him to the GCPD. The ending is exactly the same, however there are only 2 hostages, so it appears as though Mad Hatter has only captured 2 hostages, and of course he's brainwashed them and done the same kind of thing that he did in Arkham City and made them all loopy in the head. That kind of thing is still the same, but we do end up beating him and locking him up in GCPD. So ultimately, there's not really a whole ton to say about the Mad Hatter mission. We fight a first hostage, a second hostage. The 3 hostages, additionally, that we were supposed to get have been removed. That may mean that the first and second hostages that we'll be saving will have more to them, or there's more we have to do there. I don't think that they stripped it down sincerely in terms of the amount of time we put into this side mission, although it definitely is possible, because there was initially supposed to be 5, and now there is only 2. So it does appear that they did cut back on the side mission, and then after we rescue the 2 hostages, those are GCPD officers, by the way. Those are the 2 hostages that Mad Hatter has. We take him to the GCPD and lock him up. Now, the Mr. Freeze side mission is the most interesting out of these 4 in terms of the leaks specifically, but it is somewhat disappointing for longtime Arkham fans. One thing to keep in mind with this side mission is that it's not really what it is advertised to be or what we would think it would be necessarily. They haven't advertised it to be anything, but we're not really fighting Mr. Freeze in the same way that, you would think that we did in Arkham City. And this is something that I spoke about earlier, and I didn't really understand where the tension was between Batman and Mr. Freeze. There's no reason for them to hate each other in this game. Arkham City, the reasons were there, kind of, but in this game, they resolved on a good note. Ultimately, he connected him to Nora and that kind of thing, and that's, ultimately what drives him in this side mission as well. So because of that, we will be mainly fighting the militia in the side mission, and that's really the focus of the side mission, that is fighting the militia. And I do regret to inform you guys, there will be no reiteration or recreation of the Arkham City boss battle as we were hoping for, as I was hoping for, and I've talked about it on my channel before, that was maybe the most requested thing in the Season of Infamy. I may say is one of the most requested things, if not the most requested thing, is the Mr. Freeze stealth boss battle that we loved in Arkham City back in Arkham Knight, and unfortunately we're just not going to be getting that. That's not the direction they went in the side mission. As per the ending, Mr. Freeze will not be locked up in the GCPD because, as I said, they're not going to be fighting in the same sense that Batman will with Killer Croc, for example. Speaking of Killer Croc, the Killer Croc side mission is the one that we know the least about in the Arkham Knight Season of Infamy expansion. Allegedly, we will be fighting Killer Croc underneath the GCPD, similar to where he was contained in Arkham Asylum, underneath the asylum itself. Allegedly, we will be fighting Killer Croc underneath the GCPD, and we will take, the elevator right near where Barbara Gordon sits, and take the elevator down to his high security area where potentially he may be lurking. We'll fight a wave of prisoners, and upon doing that, then we will have a final boss fight with Killer Croc. Upon that, we will defeat him and ultimately lock him up in a more confined cell, like in the actual cell itself, upon beating him in the GCPD. This could be wrong, and it could take place somewhere else around the map, but the ending is not up for debate. Ultimately, we end up defeating Killer Croc in a final boss fight, and then we place him in GCPD. That's confirmed. But the filler in terms of whether this, the location of it, whether it takes place underneath GCPD or whether it takes place somewhere else, that is something we don't know. But we do know how it ends. It ends with the boss fight, and we defeat him. So guys, have the Season of Infamy leaks lived up to your expectations? I know that 3 of the 4 side missions end with us locking up the villain, and then 1 of the 4, the Mr. Freeze, we don't really know what happens at the end of that, but 3 of the 4 we do know exactly how they end. They end with us winning, whether it be a boss fight or a cutscene, and then we end up locking that character up. I'm sure that there will be more leaks coming in the near future where we can get more specific, like super specific as to what exactly we're doing in the boss fights, where exactly, they're locked up in the GCPD, like in the back cell, blah, blah, blah. All those kind of things I'm sure will come out in the near future. So be sure to keep it locked. If you're interested for those leaks, I'll be sure to report on them. My name's Slikk, and we'll see you in the next video.